here with the 2020 high school graduating gift guide. I specify high school because most of these gifts are geared towards people who are done with high school, leaving, going away to college, presumably living in a dorm for their freshman year. I've done a few of these gift guides in the past. There's not a huge difference between what I'm going to talk about today. There are a few new things as compared to previous years. I have a playlist that I will put up above, but some things have changed and I realize that you may not have seen the previous ones. It's always more fun just to kind of update things. And for those of you that have been here for the previous gift guides, hi, thanks for stopping by, especially those of you that tuned into my very first Amazon Live. I am going to do these at least once a week, so if you missed my inaugural, launch of my Amazon Live experience, don't worry. First of all, they are taped or recorded or saved. Somehow Amazon saves them and puts them on my Amazon storefront page. So if you missed it, you can rewatch it. It just won't be live. If you choose to follow me on my Amazon page and you have the Amazon app on your phone with notifications enabled, you will get a notification every time I go live if you want to watch there. And I recommend watching while it's live if you can, because there is live interaction. There is a chat box. You can shoot me questions, comments, what have you, and I can address them and answer you in real time. So that will be a lot of fun. I'll put the link over where you can follow me down in the description box, and I'll try to get it up here as well. All right, let's get to the list. I was gonna do top 10 and I'm looking at it and it's more like 14. So let's just say my current top recommendations for graduation gifts for high school seniors. So number one, cash is king. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Some people feel like cash is impersonal, but at this age, that is what they need, that is what they want, and it gives them discretion to use it how they need it. Some kids need to save up money because they're bringing in their own spending money. Parents aren't going to be contributing toward that during the school year, so they need help with that. Others are expected to help pay for other things like things for their dorm, books, etc. Whatever it is, they definitely need the cash, and their parents will thank you as well for helping to offset some of those expenses. So first and foremost, cash 100%. If you are leery of giving cash, gift cards are another wonderful option. You can do the Visa gift card in lieu of cash, or you can pick specific retailers. One great recommendation I got years ago, and I like to forward that on to you, is find some local restaurants that are in their college town, preferably within walking distance of campus, and give them a few gift cards to that restaurant. I don't care what they say about how great the food is on campus, they will really appreciate the opportunity to eat off campus. Sticking with gift cards and gift memberships, a great gift is a gift membership to Amazon Prime in the student's name. Because if your student or your graduating senior is anything like mine have been over the last few years, there is always something they need last minute, and Amazon has come to the rescue I don't know how many times. Just the most random stuff. If you think as an adult you order random things, you wouldn't believe the requests I've seen come through my texts from both of my sons. And I should add, for those of you that are new and don't know me, first of all, hi, my name is Marnie, and I do have two, I guess they're adults now, adult sons. My youngest just finished his sophomore year at the University of Mississippi, and my oldest just finished his first year of law school, and he also attended and graduated from the University of Mississippi. So I have seen my fair share of graduations and had to buy many, many high school graduation gifts. A couple of other ideas as far as gift cards or gift memberships: you can give them iTunes gift cards, Netflix gift cards. There's just a plethora of options. Let's move on to actual physical objects in no particular order. This is one I have personally given many, many times, so much so that I ended up ordering an extra one for myself. Believe it or not, this is a travel duffel bag, and the size that I have and that I've linked below is small enough to be approved for airport or airplane carry-on if they should ever be so lucky to get on an airplane again. You would not believe how many times your student or a student will need a duffel bag. If it's as simple as something to just take with them to go to the gym, their rec center on campus. If they're in the Greek system, there's often overnight date parties, so they'll need to, pack a bag, and a suitcase just really isn't an option. They are very limited on space in a dorm. So this unfolds, I'll put this down so you can see a picture. That unfolds to a full-size duffel bag or tote, but it also, as you can see, folds up into its very own pouch. So when space is at a premium in a dorm room, they don't have to worry about where to store it. It also comes with instructions on how to fold it back up. I don't know if they're ever gonna follow those, but this is a great bag. It's really tough. It comes in a ton of colors. What I like to do, if I know ahead of time, I will order this in their school colors, just a little extra school spirit. My kids have used it for their Greek date, like overnight date things. They've also used it for weekends when they go to visit a roommate or a friend's family out of town, and it always comes home stuffed with dirty laundry when they come home for the holidays. Another popular gift that I have given so many times, and I actually own a few myself, are power cords and power strips, because again, in a dorm room, outlets that are premium, they're not always placed where you want them, and these days you also need to think about USB ports. So the two that I have, one I have in hand, this one is from Belkin. What I love is that it plugs into an outlet, and then it gives you 3 full-size outlets to plug into, plus 2 USB ports at the top. Very, very handy. The other one I have to recommend is currently plugged into my youngest son's bedroom. He's using it right now. He's home for the summer. And my older son had his all through college, and it's with him in his law school apartment. It is the Anchor Power Cube. You'll be seeing a picture of it. It is what it says it is. It is a cube with a 5-foot long extension cord. It has USB port connections and full-size outlets. It has come in handy, I cannot tell you how many times. Even for yourself, for traveling, it's a great thing to have. Before moving on, I just want to add that most of these are dorm-centric, and you may think that that's not a particularly meaningful gift, but I assure you it is. It's what these kids want, it's what they need, and you can always add a little extra, maybe a check, a little cash tucked in an envelope, plus a smaller gift. So something that my kids have both received as gifts and they've used over and over is a smaller, compact toolkit. You wouldn't think they need tools while they're away at school, but they often buy furniture that they need to assemble. There's something that comes up, and again, they're smaller, they're compact, they have everything that they need in that little toolbox. They move on to an apartment after their freshman year. They're gonna have a need for tools at that point as well. It's something they can carry with them for a very long time. Along with a toolkit, I recommend a first aid kit, and I would add to whatever pre-packed commercial first aid kit you can find. Most of the first aid kits that are available to buy, like fully packed, are more literally first aid oriented, you know, bandages, band-aids, antiseptic cream, alcohol wipes, that sort of thing. Those are good, and you should definitely have that. I would also supplement with stuff for when they get cold or flu type illness. That's when they really want their mommy, and usually they're in a dorm and they can't get off campus, so include ibuprofen, acetaminophen, allergy medication, you know, over-the-counter allergy medication, sinus stuff. I've even usually thrown in some cans of like 7-Up or something, and some crackers if they have an upset stomach, a cup of soup kind of thing. Those are the things they're gonna need and want, and if they're sick living on campus and they don't have access to a car, they're gonna be really grateful they have it on hand. I think the most well-received gift recommendation I've given out, as well as the most well-received gift, has to be the Ikea Fracta bags. Now, yes, you can go to Ikea and pick them up yourself. Full disclosure, if you live near an Ikea, I recommend you do that. They are less expensive if you just buy them right at Ikea, but most of us do not live anywhere near one, or you just don't want to deal with it. So they are at Amazon, but they always sell out. So when my youngest graduated from high school, I bought everybody, his closest friends, one of these, and then I got them, I think, 2 of these bags and put it in a gift bag. So there are 2 kinds of Ikea Fracta bags. There's the one that's like a big open tote. It doesn't zip or anything. Those are great for towels, bulkier items like all the electronic random things like lamps and the Keurig, and we'll talk about that. Like all the things you need to tote into a dorm room. This makes dorm move in and move out so much easier if you have these bags. You can throw their pillows, their comforters, all that. So it makes for, I wouldn't say a hands-free experience, but for a contained experience. Because if you have not yet experienced college move-in and you think that you're gonna be able to get your hands on one of those giant wheelie bins to wheel all your stuff in, plan ahead for when that doesn't happen. So the big open tote is great. My personal favorite is also the one that comes zippered. You can actually wear it like a backpack if you need to, and we have stuffed that with towels, I mean, clothes, hangers, bathroom supplies, basically everything that they needed to carry into the dorm was stuffed into either the open tote or the zippered tote. And we have kept them extras around the house. I use them for holiday storage, for storing my extra reusable grocery bags. There are so many uses. Just don't do what I did this year. I was in such a hurry to move Shane into his house. He was living in a house this year, and get it all tidied up and pack up all the stuff that he didn't need, that I packed up all the Ikea bags and took them home. So when he came home for the summer, moved out of his apartment, everything came home in trash bags. So don't be so overzealous in your pickup that you bring home the Ikea bags. Next, this was recommended a long time ago to us, and it has just been invaluable, and that is a safe. Not just any kind of safe, a safe that comes with a steel cable tether around it, because there are things your child or whomever, the college student, is going to need in college that they want secure. Most are going to be living in the dorms their freshman year or with a roommate in some kind of shared living experience, and you just want to make sure everything is secure. And if you just get a regular safe, that's not going to stop someone from picking it up and leaving with it. So what we like to do is get the ones with the tether on it, and it takes a couple of us to lift up their bed frame and attach it to the bed frame, or you can either lift it up or I think you can just open it, whatever. Secure it to the bed lug on their bed. That's not going anywhere. What do they put in their safe? Well, believe it or not, I would recommend you send them with copies of their birth certificate, their driver's license, health insurance card. A need for those comes up during the school year. If they have any kind of prescription medication, and even if it's not a controlled substance, college students are known for trying out things that they're not supposed to try. So you want to keep it safe from roommates or kids who are just popping into their room. They can put their prescription meds in. If you can find one that's big enough to hold a laptop, I recommend that as well. Say your kid goes home for the weekend, doesn't want to bring all that stuff with them, they can lock it up and keep it safe there. There's just always a need for a safe. Yes, many dorms come with a cabinet or dresser that has a lockable section, but this is just an added level of security. Okay, it is 2021, and I know that as of filming this, it has been recommended that everybody go back to school full-time in person by the CDC. However, we all probably realize that there are still going to be Zoom classes or opportunities to attend class virtually, and they're going to need a good pair of headphones. My top recommendation are Apple AirPods or AirPod Pros. I am aware that that is a big ticket item, so I'm going to list in the description box a few other more budget-friendly options. I recommend having at least 2 headphone options because you don't want them scrambling at the last minute. They could lose the AirPods. Having just a basic over-the-ear type on hand isn't such a bad idea. They're usually around $20, $30 and they work just fine. So I'll list that below. Back to more electronics. Definitely get them a cell phone external battery and a cell phone charger. My favorite brand by far is Anker. They are the most dependable. A great gift would be the external battery phone charger and a couple of extra phone charging cables. I like the model that I'm linking below because you can charge 2 devices at the same time. There's a ton of power and it's a very small, compact battery. This is a new suggestion for 2021. As much as I'd like to think that both of my kids sat at their desks all set up and nice and sat and did their homework or studied, I know more often than not they're sitting on their bed reading or they have their laptop in front of them. So why not get them a laptop desk? The one that I have linked has the most recommendations, the most 5-star reviews. It's pretty versatile, not reversible. That would be interesting. It's very versatile. It's big enough to set a book on it, but also can be used with a laptop. It has an area to actually put a mouse on it if you need to. I think it's really handy, and they can even use it just as a table to eat on their bed. They're gonna do it. I know it's gross, but that's what they do. So why not help them out and get them the laptop desk? Most dorms these days don't allow a lot of cooking appliances. Back when I went to school, when we rode covered wagons to get to class, we were allowed to have hot plates in our room. That is no longer a thing. Both of my kids, their freshman dorms came with a refrigerator and a microwave, but one appliance that I've seen is allowed pretty much everywhere is a Keurig. I definitely recommend getting the mini Keurig. It's big enough for their needs. Even if they're not a coffee fan, my youngest hates coffee, but he loves tea. He loves making hot cocoa. You could use the hot water to make the little ramen noodle cup of soup things. These are college students, they eat things like that. So it does come in handy, and again, it's the smaller option, really good gift. And as they move out, it's something that's going to travel with them. They can take it to any apartment they live in after that. Another appliance I highly recommend is a steamer. And every time I recommend this, I get parents going, there's no way, my kid is never gonna iron their clothes, they're never gonna steam their clothes. And 9 times out of 10, I hear back from them saying, in fact, they did. Even if they never, hopefully they do laundry, but even if they never iron or want to steam their clothes, don't leave them hanging in case they do, especially if your child is going through the Greek system, gonna join a fraternity or sorority, they're going to need to dress up for things. Even if your child doesn't, they may wanna participate in a job fair, an internship, meet with a professor for a more professional type situation. They might want to, you know, appear unwrinkled. And so I definitely recommend a steamer. And I have 2 that I really like. The first one is by Conair, and I would show it to you. It is sitting in my son's room. He's kidnapped it, and it's fabulous. I've had mine for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, and it is running perfectly well. The other one looks like this. It's not this exact model. This one's okay, but the model that I found has way better reviews than this one. So it looks exactly like this. It's more compact than the Conair version, and it's less expensive and has, like I said, better reviews than the one I'm holding here. But the one I'm holding here, it looks exactly like this one. So any kind of steamer, I'll link to the 2 that I recommend, I think are great. And I haven't personally ironed in years and years and years because the steamer just makes it so easy. So even if your kid has been anti-iron, which I personally am, you would be surprised they might pull out that steamer. And then the last thing that I have to recommend is kind of random, and it is a big ticket item, but it is a HEPA air purifier. Now, I'm not a big germaphobe, and I'm not really worried about illness and sickness. It's not top of mind. However, having seen 2 boys go through the shared living experience in a new environment and seeing how pretty much the entire dorm gets sick with, they call it like the dorm name crud. So, you know, Stockard crud, Martin crud, whatever the name of the dorm is. They all catch it. It's not COVID, but some kind of icky cold. I personally experienced this, not when I went away to school the first time, but when I did my student teaching and was exposed to kid germs for the first time in several decades. I got sick. All my cohorts in the student teaching program got sick as well. So it's helpful to have an air purifier in their dorm room. These days, of course, we're also hyper aware of other kinds of viruses and things, but that aside, you're still gonna have your standard back to school ickies that are going around. And then when cold and flu season hits, again, the only thing is it would be nice if they actually changed the filter occasionally. Can't guarantee that that happens, but at least they have it in there. And along with that, I have one more thing, a fan. A stand-up tower fan is ideal, or even a clip-on one that they can put next to their bed. Most dorm rooms, you can't regulate your own temperature, but even if you can, one roommate wants it hot, one roommate wants it cold. This eliminates some roommate arguments. Having a fan is something that both my kids had and really enjoyed. And again, has uses outside of dorm living. Well, those are my current 2021 graduation gift recommendations. I have a ton more, but I think this will get you started. If you have some great ideas for graduation gifts, please leave them in the comments below. Let's share those ideas. This is a community effort. Thank you again for hanging out with me today. Thank you in advance for signing up to watch me on Amazon Live. And thank you to those who joined me last week. It was a blast. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.